Our class recently traveled to Big Bend National Park for our class trip. And after the 8-hour drive from Austin to Big Bend, we arrived just in time to catch this beautiful sunset. And every night, everyone would gather in one room and have this party and just hang out and have fun, and it was awesome. But the next morning, we got up, filled our camelbacks with water, and started the big hike up to the Lost Mines Trail. The Lost Mines Trail is about 5 miles, and it takes about 4, and we took about 4 hours to hike it. It was beautiful. Seriously, if you see behind me, there's mountains that go on forever. The wind was blowing in our hair, and it was just gorgeous. Behind Gabby, you can see this mountain in the distance, and behind that mountains were other mountains and other mountains, and it was breathtaking. But once we arrived at the top, we had lunch with a view of Mexico and hiked back down. And after we hiked down, we got in our car and drove to Santa Elena Canyon. Santa Elena Canyon was gorgeous. The Rio Grande was winding in and out of the canyon, limestones, and they were just beautiful. It was a lot of fun. In the river, we were skipping rocks in it, and it was awesome. And here you can see us hiking down the trail into the canyon. So we'd hike down, and then we'd go along the riverbed and played in the river. We got back up and got really high, so we were almost at the top of the mountains. And then after we had dinner, we went to bed and got ready for the next day. So we woke up pretty early to get a head start on our hikes to Boquillas Canyon. And there we found these awesome Mexican trinkets that we could purchase as souvenirs. Boquillas Canyon was pretty much amazing. We traveled on this sandy path into the canyon and then hiked up this 100-foot sand dune. Seriously, it was really hot. And we were all barefoot and the sun was shining on the sand, so it was burning our feet, but we all hid behind this one rock because there was a shadow behind the rock and the sand was nice and cool, and we were making sand angels on the dune, and then we ran down it, and it was awesome. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And the water, okay, so after we hiked up the sand dune, we ran back down, and then we all took off our shoes that we put back on, and we waded in the river, and the river was amazing. It was cool, because it was really hot outside, so that was a nice relief. So then, after that, we got back in our car and traveled to the hot springs. The hot springs were found along the Rio Grande River, and they were remnants of the bathhouses back from when the first people came to Big Bend. They were awesome because even though it was really hot outside, we'd get in the hot springs, and then we'd run back and get into the Rio Grande, which is really, really cold. And then we'd get cold, so we'd run back into the hot springs and get hot, and then back into the Rio Grande and get cold, and it was a lot of fun. But of course, like everything, it had to end. So after we left the hot springs, we got in our car, ate dinner, packed, and the next morning we got back in the car and traveled the 8-hour trip to Austin. We loved Big Bend. It was beautiful and gorgeous and so much fun, and I don't think we'll ever forget it. Thank you.